Evening for you guys. Just setting up my giveaways here and we'll get us started. Get us all started. What do we got today? I got the white, the pea berry. We got, what else do we have here? We got some more 8-ounce whites, some OG, medium Hawaiian, Kona pea berry, Estate dark, medium Hawaiian, the turmeric flowers. Ooh, I got some turmeric flowers, guys. Those are tasty. What else we got going on here? Don't have that. Hawaiian light. I think I give you guys too many choices. You probably get confused looking at all this stuff. What else we got here? Too many choices. Some medium Kona. Peaberry. White Hawaiian. Light Hawaiian. Estate. Extra dark. Peaberry. Medium estate. V60 coffee makers. All right. I think I give you guys too many choices. Too many choices. You had some green coffee. That's intense, V, I guess. But green coffee is really healthy for you. So I saw that flap caliph. I don't know if I can change it. I will. You got to change it in the system. So I might be able to maybe cancel that order or. Um, the fancy white energy drink. It's so the white coffee is roasted so light that it is still raw, and so the coffee has this compound in it called trigonylene. And when you roast trigonylene to 250 degrees, it becomes something called methylamine, which is the meth part of methamphetamine. And that's the biggest reason why it's giving you such a buzz. So there's two alkaloids in coffee. One of them is caffeine, which we all know about, and the other one is methylamine. I mean, the other one is called trigonylene. The other one is caffeine. One is trigonylene. And when you roast trigonylene to 250 degrees, it becomes something called methylamine, which is the meth part of methamphetamine. And so that is the biggest reason why it's an energy drink. It's got maybe 20 to 50 times more of that other compound. It's got twice the caffeine, but it's not the caffeine. And trigonally actually feeds your cells on the cellular level. It's an NAD booster. It just causes your cells to be able to produce more energy, but it's not producing more energy in a negative way. A lot of times when you drink an energy drink, you're actually kind of squeezing coffee, squeezing energy out of your body. But our coffee, the white roast, does not. It's not borrowing energy. It's actually creating more energy. And unlike a lot of other energy drinks, coffee, and especially green coffee, is loaded with antioxidants, loaded with compounds which will help your body work better. And so it just gives you a huge buzz. And that's what it comes down to is all of these other alkaloids, all of the trigonylene, all of the antioxidants, polyphenols, some of the caffeine. So trigonylene is also vitamin B3 that's been methylated. So it's just got a lot of really positive compounds to it. And so that's why. I don't know if that answers your questions. And if you guys are interested in white coffee, I drink it every day now. It gives you a really strong buzz and it will get you moving. Moving. Gets you really moving. Let's see here. I drink it full strength. Yeah. It tastes almost like a corn tea. It's kind of an interesting flavor to it. This background sucks. Let me see if I can go outside. How about this? It's hot out here. So if you want to try it, it is awesome. It makes you feel great. You can feel it in your joints. You can feel it in your. I drink it beyond full strength. There we go. That's a little bit nicer, right? You can see the cruise ship there. We're in Hawaii, currently live from Hawaii here. I'm down at the shore now. This is the white Hawaiian. If you guys want the white extra fancy, it is coffee that's roasted so light it's still raw. It's before first crack, and so the compounds in the coffee, which haven't started cooking yet, and as a result of that, the beans are just loaded with antioxidants. It's like extra strong. It's just the strongest coffee that we have, and it's going to give you a buzz that is extremely strong. It's got coffee has two alkaloids in it. Alkaloids are things like caffeine and ca- caffeine and nicotine is an alkaloid, right? So all these things that really affect our body strongly. Kratom is an alkaloid. Cocaine is an alkaloid. Theobromine in chocolate is an alkaloid. So alkaloids are just powerful bioactive compounds, and coffee has two alkaloids in it. One of them is caffeine, and the other one is nicotine. The other one is trigonylene. And when you roast trigonylene at 250 degrees, it becomes something called methylamine, uh, which is the meth part of methamphetamine. It's the hallucinatory part. It's not the amphetamine part, but it does have a lot of those. You know, it has some that's the precursor. So if you saw Breaking Bad, he needed to get methylamine to make his methamphetamine. It's actually a big component of coffee. That's why you can't just eat a caffeine pill and feel the way you feel on coffee. Yeah, let me post that for you. And so the white coffee, most of the extra dark, I have some of that. Yeah, that's this extra dark prime. So I'll put that up for you. And so most of when you just make it like you regular make it, and extra fancy is the highest grade of coffee. Nice, never sometimes. Let me run these a little bit faster for you guys. And then I'll go to the other thing that you asked for. I don't remember what it was. The only problem with the white coffee is when you run out of it, you definitely have a little bit of brain fog. You don't get the jitters, you don't get a crash from our coffees. I've noticed that, but you do get a little bit of brain fog. So it gets rid of brain fog, and then it gives you brain fog. Now I don't have the OG and the extra dark. I'll run the extra dark prime that I have next. So we do have that extra dark prime. Mhm. I don't have. That's the only grade of extra dark. So it's got that a little bit of oil in it, right? When you roast the coffee to extra dark, it gets a little bit oily. So right before it starts to burn. So it's the most you can roast coffee before it gets oily. I mean, before it starts to burn. And that's typically where Starbucks roast their coffee. Here we go. And this extra dark was what he wrote. One of the things he roasted yesterday for me. And this is a Kona grade coffee, so it's a little bit more expensive. If you want to try it, 25, $50 a pound is still pretty good for Kona coffee. And if you guys want that extra dark, this is roasted to like 460. It's like 10 degrees darker than a typical dark. It's just a fully burnt, not burned, but it's heavily toasted. Let's put it that way. So I want to say, when I ended my last show, I was saying people who call other people crazy are typically stupid. And then I thought, wait, didn't I just call my wife crazy? So, you know, I'm guilty of that too. And she always says she's got a higher IQ than me. She really holds on to that IQ test. She's like, my IQ is 165. And I'm just like, then well, how come you can't even pour yourself a glass of water? But you know what? And I say I think she's crazy, but you know what? And I'm guilty. So I gotta learn from her. I also say, crazy people, they got something to tell you. They're like the voice of God. So I never ignore a crazy person because if they're yelling at me saying something crazy, it's probably God telling me something I need to hear. And it's kind of funny. I was telling everyone, if you call me crazy, it means you're stupid. Meanwhile, I'm calling my wife crazy. So I'm stupid. I'm the stupid ones. I'm the stupid one here. Who has the best stories? The crazy people. Are you calling me crazy? All right, guys. So one more bag of extra dark here. Are you calling me crazy? Everyone, all of us are guilty of calling someone crazy, and that person's probably the one person smarter than us. So that's all I have to say about that. That's all I gotta say about that. I always try not to call people crazy, but then I called my wife crazy, and so I'm stupid. I'm the stupid one. All right, guys. So I'm coming at you live from Hawaii. There, you can see that cruise ship. There it is. There's a cruise ship. I love cruises. You guys like cruises? I love cruises. Unlimited food. I just sit in the gym all day and sit on that cruise. This is our extra dark, roasted to 460 degrees, 10 degrees darker than we typically roast it. And that gives it that full, bold coffee flavor. It's just coffee. Most of the coffee we're used to drinking is coffee. It's like roasted dark. So this is that, mud water. But it's not bitter. It's still not bitter. It's still probably way smoother than the coffee you guys are used to drinking. Still very sweet. But this is what we conceive as, coffee. I do notice though, a lot of the coffees when I drink it at a hotel, it makes me nauseous. So this coffee shouldn't give you nausea. I also notice I drink a lot of coffees and it makes me nauseous. And that's another aspect of coffee that's too old. Most of the coffee we drink is old. That's part of the reason why most big companies or supermarket type roasteries roast their coffee so dark. It's because the coffee either starts out moldy, a little bit moldy, or it's a little bit old, and so it's kind of rancid. And so you need to roast the coffee dark. And not only that, most supermarket coffee is left on the shelf for, you know, up to a year and a half. And that to me is ridiculous because if my coffee's older than a few weeks, I'm ready to like throw it away. Although that's not fair either. I mean, you can drink coffee for I've had a bag of my coffee that's 6 months old and it tasted really good. So, it's if you store it properly, it's gonna be good. If you freeze it, it'll stay good for up to a year. So that keeps it fresh. And so you definitely, if you're not gonna drink your coffee right away, if you've been sitting on the coffee, you get it in the mail, throw it in the freezer right away, and it'll stay good. It'll even retain the crema. So frozen coffee is the way to go, I think. But you do have to seal it because coffee is very good at pulling out. you know, stuff out of the air and stuff like that. So this is all Hawaiian coffee. This coffee was roasted on Saturday. We have coffee being roasted now. I did some shipping, but still, I shipped yours, Sandon, because yours was easy. But some of the stuff is still dark side. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. The one you bought is extra dark. So usually you bought the dark. And if you want to cancel it and get this one instead, you can. The extra dark is maybe 10 degrees darker. I've noticed everyone that drinks the white coffee gets really busy. Do you think it's linked? You think there's a correlation between I got extra busy too. So this is the dark roast. This one is it's a little bit lighter, maybe 10 degrees lighter than the extra dark. And this will be a little bit more chocolatey, a little bit sweeter, like toasted caramel, but not as bold. So the extra dark is extra bold, whereas this estate dark is, you know, more like a medium dark. So a little bit kind of like a toasted caramel, almost like a candied cherry in a way. I feel like that's got that sweetness to it. And then, and I really like this. I like the extra dark and the dark in a drip coffee. I really like these with drip. For some reason, that drip coffee really brings out the sweetness. Whereas the pour over, I don't really find. Yeah, this one you probably got this one last time, the dark, the regular dark, and so this is our regular dark. You mean how do I recommend you make it? Mm, I would say French press is a great way to make it because then it steeps and then you get the buzz from it. I think that's probably one of the better ways to make it. All right, so we got the Estate Dark. We got I got two Estate Darks, same listing, no difference. Move that from the shop. I'm giving you guys too many choices. Then we have the medium estate. So the medium roast is the first one where you can really taste the flavors of the region. That's what they call it. They, as in professional coffee critics. And what that means, it's going to have this fruitiness to it. For us, for me, it tastes like a chocolate covered raisin. It's got a little bit of like caramel, brown sugar, chocolate covered raisin. Pretty simple. All our coffee is pretty simple. It's just like a dessert coffee. And the medium Kona estate, just a very sweet, fruity, almost like a raisin flavor to it. And all this coffee is guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion, or I will give you 100% of your money back. So if you guys are trying this coffee for the first time, I can guarantee you will not get any acid reflux or indigestion. All this coffee is grown in Kona. So even our Hawaiian coffee is a Kona coffee. And the reason why this coffee won't give you any acid reflux or indigestion is because of the way we pick it. Most of the world's coffee is either picked with a machine or it's picked by people who are only getting paid $1 per 100 pounds of coffee, which is ridiculously low amount of money to get paid. Even just pulling coffee off the trees as quickly as you can in a day, you might be lucky to pick 200 pounds, 250 pounds maybe. Even just grabbing as much coffee as you can off the tree, and that's why even single origin hand picked coffees are very sour. It's because when you pick coffee like that, you end up getting a lot of unripe coffee. It's just it's just, coffee does not ripen uniformly. It actually ripens almost like Skittles. You get all these rounds. And so even in other parts of Hawaii, that's why, coffee coming from other parts of Hawaii, other than Kona, still tends to be very sour and bitter and even grassy. Even coffee coming off Kona can be sour and bitter and grassy. People have complained to me about that. Local people are like, I drink other people's coffee and it's the other Konas have gotten grassy and yours is the only one that still tastes like Kona coffee. It's not just my coffee, but it is South Kona in general. So, you generally speaking, you want to go to the older coffee mills. If you're trying to try other people's Kona coffee, you want to look to see that it's an older brand. So like Greenwell is a good brand to try. Buddha's Cup is a good brand to try. But farm to farm, you really do have to be you have to be very you have to try the coffee because even there's 650 coffee farms out here, and as new people come in, they can cut corners. I was the same way. I didn't even know how to pick coffee. I was just lucky that my neighbors were looking over my shoulder, and I used to pick my coffee white, pink, red, orange, and I was like, I'm better than these hippies. I work all the time. I'm not lazy. I'm gonna pick my coffee every day. And then, I was picking the red oranges, the pinks, just because when you pick every day, you're going through the fields and you've already picked all the easy coffee. Now you're picking the local neighbors would roll by in their cars and look at my picking basket, seeing what I was doing, and they'd laugh at me or they'd yell at me and they'd tell me, your coffee's gonna be sour and bitter. You're ruining it for the rest of us. And hey, Shafi, so we're doing a medium Kona right now. I'm just talking about why Kona coffee is so much sweeter and how there's 650 coffee farms. So even in Kona, some of the coffee is going to be sour and bitter. And the bitterness and sourness in coffee, the acid reflux, I hope it arrives unbroken. I'm really nervous about that, Sandon. So I feel like I might be given a lot of refunds on those. We'll see. But the reason why coffee is sour and bitter is because it's picked unripe or it's picked underripe. And that's just, if you're getting paid $1 per 100 pounds of coffee, you're going to be picking coffee that's underripe just because you got to feed your family, just out of desperation. But if you're getting paid well, you can take your time, you can only pick the good coffee, and then you're going to get a much better coffee as a result. So our coffee is all picked by hand. In a pound of this coffee, we're paying people 100 times more than get paid in other regions of the world. And as a result of that, coffee is going to be significantly better, significantly sweeter, without any of the bitterness. Some people might ask, how different can coffee be? All coffee is the same. That's not true either. Coffee is a fruit, and like any fruit, the difference between, let's say a banana, a green banana, or a yellow banana, and a brown banana, no matter what variety of banana it is, it's going to be way better when it's brown. Not better, but sweeter when it's brown, and that's why our coffee is so sweet. So if you've never had a Kona coffee before and you're skeptical, I do give you a 100% money back guarantee. I can do that because I've sold, thousands of bags of coffee. I've sold coffee in person, thousands of people in person, and I know 99%, one out of 1,000 people might say, "Oh, there's nothing special about this coffee." It might just be the roast that they're talking about. So it's just a really very, very, very unique coffee, the sweetest, some of the sweetest coffee in the world. Hard to find a coffee this sweet. Almost impossible to find a coffee this sweet. This is our Hawaiian, 12-ounce Hawaiian. We have a guy, and in fact, have you seen the new Atlas coffee? Yeah, so other coffees are now copying me. I've noticed that they're copying what I say. You want the 3 pound of the light medium? I could do that. Oh, you bought the 3 pounds of the light medium. Okay, that's very different, right? The light medium is very different than the dark. So if you got the light medium and then you got the extra dark, you probably want to get a bag of the light medium just in case, and you can mix them together and then get the boldness of the extra dark and get the 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 sweetness and the fruitiness of the light and the buzz. Yeah, most coffees are very similar in their taste. Most coffees are going to pretty much taste the same. The thoughts on geisha, and I got corrected on this yesterday. It's actually Gesha, Gesha, not the Japanese geisha. Um, what's it called? We have a guy who has certified Gesha here, and I actually just was given a sample of it. The Gesha is $100 a pound unroasted. So for us to sell it, we'd have to sell it for $250 a pound. So my thoughts on it is I don't want to sell it because it's too expensive. But I haven't tried it yet. Apparently, I haven't tried it. Apparently, it just tastes like pure chocolate. So apparently, it's really good. But yeah, it's expensive here. So things are expensive. I think if everyone planted geisha, the price would come down. But that's it's an expensive coffee, extremely expensive, just because of the rarity. They flavor their coffee, yep, and I've never had their coffee. We roast there, but we never had. I've never had their coffee. Um, and they do. They're more old school, I think. So old school coffee, they'll still flavor it. We just don't flavor our coffee. Um, yeah, I've never had their coffee. Yeah, the scoring of coffee is oh shit. Damn it. The scoring of the coffee depends on it's just a cupping. It's scored out of 100, and you have to score above an 80 to become considered specialty coffee. This is a 2-ounce sample of our medium pea berry. This is the densest and rarest of all our beans. It only happens at tips of the trees, and it's only one out of every 100 beans can qualify for Kona pea berry. So this is sort of the cream of the crop if you guys are interested in the densest, most oiliest bean, very sweet uh, and scores higher. The Peaberry would score like in the 90s, right? The Hawaiian would score maybe low 80s, and then Kona would be anywhere from like 85 to 95, something like that, if that makes sense. So, the scoring is based on a number of factors. It's very subjective, but what they do is they'll take a specific amount of green beans, they'll roast it in the same way across you know, multiple coffees, and then these professional Q cuppers will sip on it, and there's all these different like, smoothness, sweetness, brightness. There's all these different categories in terms of how you would score it, and it's somewhat subjective, but it is, there's this standardized kind of battery, and then you add up the scores, and that gives you your Q score, your cupping score. So it is at least gives you a way to like compare different coffees, and coffee does have to score above a has to score above a I believe it. Geshas apparently are really good. Everyone I talk to, and I've never tried it myself. I do have a 1 cup worth of it because my buddy Art yesterday gave me a sample of his Gesha, but he was like, "This is 250 bucks a pound, so I only can give you 1 cup worth, which is like 8 grams." So he gave me 8 grams of beans to try, and I believe Gesha is up there. It's got a it's a sub variety of coffee that I don't know too much about it, but there are sub varieties of coffee that have very kind of specialized flavors, tend to be sweeter than the average Typica. Most of our coffee is a Typica. We do have that one Catura, which we're out. I think I actually have like 6 bags left of the light Catura. Uh, I don't have that in my shop though. I need to just make sure. So definitely there is something to it. And I wouldn't like stake my life on it, but there's definitely something to the cupping helps you compare, helps you get a good idea of at least the richness of the coffee, the smoothness, the sweetness. Those are all ways you can help really know, and you have to get certified to become a Hue cupper. So, it definitely helps you compare, especially when the coffees get really pricey. It helps you make a determination of which coffee you should be spending your money on. We haven't, only coffee I've gotten scored is our Hawaiian, and that's scored. Someone gave me like an 83 on that. So, and then once we scored a Kona many years back, and it was like 92, 93. So the Kona tends to score in the 90s, the Hawaiian 80s, and if it's below 80, like then it's not specialty coffee. So it doesn't qualify as specialty coffee. And that might be like with your OG coffee, it might be less oily, right? That will probably drop it below an 80. But to the average person who's been drinking Folgers probably like a 50. It's just not even going to score. All right, if you guys want a larger bag of the pea berry, I'll do these. Is the third too. So pea berry is the rarest of all our coffees. It's the most complex in its flavor profile. Anaerobic. That's a good question. So that's like people are also adding yeasts to their coffee when they're fermenting it, and that will adjust the flavor, bringing out certain certain tastes, certain flavors and notes. Apparently, it brings out more chocolatey notes, brings out more of a just. I'm gonna be on to maybe 4 o'clock. So there is so yeah, so there are people doing like they have specific strains of bacteria and yeasts which make the coffee taste different or whatever it is. Oh, well, yeah, that white coffee. I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that that's what it's for. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared of saying it's good for stuff. So, but you guys already know it's good. Hopefully, I'm just scared. I've been cowed. But the white coffee is good for I can say it's good for joint support and muscle support, increases, mobility support, sports working out, um, good for inflammation, I think. The extra fancy white is cleaner and smoother than the Hawaiian white. It's a little bit it's the highest grade of coffee that we have that isn't pea berry, the highest grade of regular coffee. The funny thing about pea berry is it used to actually be considered off grade, which means it was something to throw away. But the extra fancy white doesn't taste like coffee. This white tastes like kind of a sweet corn, and it does give you a very strong buzz, both the head buzz and a body buzz. It kind of clears up brain fog. Thanks, Dark Side. It definitely cleans up your brain fog. Yeah, the pea berries on sale in the bin there. So but then when you stop drinking the white coffee, you're gonna get a little bit of brain fog. You don't get I find I don't get like a crash. I don't get the jitters from this coffee. Jitters from coffee, I'm pretty sure the jitters from coffee comes from um, mold in the coffee. If you guys ever ate mushrooms, you kind of get that same really anxious feeling that coffee gives you. So I think it's actually mold. It shouldn't, dark side, yeah, it shouldn't. It should actually in most studies, it shows it brings res that down, and it's actually good for your heart. In fact, I think coffee also reduces, um, cardiovascular the risk of cardiovascular disease, but that again, I'm not gonna I don't wanna sell this coffee as a supplement. I'm just scared. I don't wanna, so I don't want to emphasize that too much. I do have some Mac nuts, Dark Side. Just not in here. I thought I had them. I do have some Mac nuts. I'll pull that up. So I just wanted to say, if you guys were listening to me last show, I was saying how people who are stupid call people smarter than them crazy. But then I thought to myself, wait a second, wasn't I calling my wife crazy? So I guess I'm the stupid one. So I got a lot to learn. And that's what she says. She says, Ed, you don't know everything. And so she has stuff that I need to listen to. Definitely. All right. See you later, Dark Side. Thanks for coming on. You've already had some of our coffee, Don Wack. Yeah, and there are people in like Hula Daddy. I feel like they're doing some really unique things with Kona coffee. Their coffee is like $200 a pound, but they have stuff like that. They have like geishas, and they have like I think there's another one like SL43 is like a sub variety of coffee. Some I don't know the numbers. I just made up the letters. And then they do the anaerobic, so they're doing stuff like that. That works too. Thanks, Exity. Um, yeah, but the white coffee is my favorite. I've just migrated to white coffee. I can't function without it now. So that's one of the risks of white coffee. You definitely start to become somewhat dependent on it. And it's a good dependency though. You know, people who drink coffee actually live longer. And the lighter the roast, the more antioxidants, the more health benefits, the more of the trigonelline, which is like this amazing superfood that helps your gut, helps your skin. It's actually really good for your skin too. I think my skin has improved since drinking the trigonelline every day. What do you guys think? Do you guys like my skin? I've been trying the box and box. So we have been doing the box and box with some padding. I don't know if my packers did it right. We'll see. See. I hope it's okay. And it is okay to freeze. Yep. You want to, in fact, you want to freeze it right away. If You definitely want to freeze it right away. Yeah, yesterday on one of my other platforms, someone came on and yelled at me and said, "You planet killer." And I was like, "How did you know?" Because, you know, my spaceships can be pointed downwards and they can actually crack entire planets. I was like, "How did you know?" And I think he was just crazy, but, you know, it got me thinking. He was like, "Your kids aren't going to be proud of you. You're going to be known as a butcher." And I was like, something to think about. So I think crazy people, they tell you things that you need to hear. So I need to make sure not to turn the spaceships into a weapon. And I needed to hear that. You know, I needed, and he was crazy. He probably was just saying stuff. I will. Thanks for spreading the word. Exit H. Freeze the beans. Yeah, put the coffee beans in the freezer right away. This is the extra fancy Kona white, and this will be the cleanest beans that we have. So when you look at these beans, they're big, they're perfect. And when you roast your coffee raw, I feel like it's a little bit more important. I find when I drink the white Hawaiian, I can drink 3 cups of it without feeling like I need to curl up in a ball. Whereas when I drink the extra fancy white, I can drink 4 or 5 cups of it, and then I need to curl up in the ball. So it's just a little bit smoother. There's still tiny bit of jitters in the white Hawaiian, but only if you drink 3 or 4 cups of it. Whereas the white extra fancy Kona, I feel like just treats you really nice, just gets you flying for a while. Although it will lower your inhibitions a little bit, so you will you know, it's when I drank it this morning, I couldn't stand up straight again, so it's definitely going on. Mason jar is probably the best way to store it. Every time someone mentions a mason jar, I always think you're like winking at me, like hint, hint. So I don't know if that's true either. I'm a little bit paranoid. Little soda water or tonic water makes sense. Tonic water has quinine in it, which is another mason jars. Hint, hint. You know, like a mason. Tonic water does have quinine in it, which is another alkaloid. So that might be why it calms you down, because it'll actually block the caffeine. Just like chocolate, our chocolate tea really calms me down. So if I drink too much coffee, let's talk a little bit about this chocolate tea. When I drink too much coffee, I drink this chocolate tea and it's like instant. I instantly calm down. I find that, you know, most chocolates, you know, I used to people would say chocolate calms you down or chocolate feels like being in love. When I when I eat chocolate, I don't feel anything. I mean, it tastes good, but I don't feel anything. But when I drink this tea, it's like instant calm. So this is made from the peel of the chocolate seed, the cocoa bean, which is where chocolate comes from. This is made from the peel of it, and like any peel, you get the chocolate, all the concentrated compounds are in the peel to protect it from, you know, bugs and fungus and mold, and that's actually what a lot of alkaloids are for. It's actually there to protect itself from bugs. And so this cacao tea is just loaded with the so much so you can actually feel it. And so I actually really like this for calming and for, you know, if you want to add a chocolate flavor into your coffee, you want to smooth out some of the buzz of the coffee or some of the caffeine, you can mix this in with your coffee and it'll brew really well. Just, you'll put the chocolate flavor right into your tea. I love matcha. I drink matcha with ginger after my coffee. Um, I was more of a tea person, so I love matcha. That's what I think. Matcha is also really good for you. I don't really eat vegetables, but I feel like I get all my vegetables from coffee and tea. Although coffee is the one I used to think coffee was unhealthy, but coffee is the one that will make you live longer. If you don't drink your coffee, you gotta eat beans because both of those are the ones that give you this particular bacteria. It's a butyric acid fermenting bacteria, and that they found that people who live longer, that bacteria is in their bodies. Whereas once you start dying, your that bacteria start is gone. So that's sort of the key compound that you need, or key bacteria that you need. And ironically, a lot of these probiotic, the lactobacillus and the acidophilus, those are actually there to kill. They actually kill those bacteria because those bacteria are formulated to stop you from farting. Back in the 80s, when farting was the big issue, you would eat these lactobacillus and acidophilus and would kill your gas fermenting bacteria. But they found that people who live shorter actually have more higher amounts of lactobacillus in their body. So food for thought. And so now that we know farts are good for you, except in space, uh, you want to rethink. Garden Apothecary, thanks for the raid. Give them a follow. I think they make teas, yummy teas. That Blue Lotus, that looks yummy. That looks amazing, actually. I gotta buy some of your teas. I love teas. So if you guys like teas, give Garden Apothecary and other herbal extracts, tinctures, and things like that. Give them a follow. Check out their show. And now we got some peaberry here. This is a peaberry, which is the densest of all our beans. It's the most complex flavor and the smoothest of all our coffees. All our coffees coming off the same trees, from the OG all the way to the peaberry. Um, give Garden Apothecary a follow. There. I think you can click on that. Japanese green teas. Yeah, those Japanese supermarkets on Oahu have some. You know who has a really good selection of teas? Lupicia at the mall in Oahu. They've got some really nice Japanese green teas. Lupicia. They're at the Ala Moana Center, so there's some good stuff there. All right, that's our medium peaberry. I'm just gonna run through each of my items. Hawaiian light coffee, guys. This is a sample of the light coffee. If you guys like the samplers, these are 2-ounce samples, and it will make you roughly 4 8-ounce cups of coffee. They do sell them in tin cans, and they also sell these. They have some in tin cans and some in the foil lined bags, but they have some really good stuff. So I really like. I used to, but they're not organic. So now the only tea I drink is the Kirkland Ito end. And I just drink that because it's organic, it's good, it's consistent, it's cheap. So I just drink that every day with my ginger, and I like that just as good as any other teas. I feel like the Japanese teas don't have that much complexity to them, so I don't find it matters too much from place to place. Just the freshness is the most important. Whereas the Chinese, like the oolong teas, can have a big difference. So certain oolong teas can be. Anyway, but this is about coffee, guys. This is a show about coffee, not tea. And I used to think coffee was unhealthy compared to tea. So, and this is why I say I have a lot to learn from my wife. She used to drink coffee and I'd get upset at her. I'd be like, you're drinking a vice. This was like when we were 20. And she was like, no, I love coffee. I was like, you got to give coffee up. It's bad for you. It's like smoking a cigarette. But turns out people who drink coffee live longer. Turns out coffee is probably one of the only things keeping us alive. I think I was running at 22. Let me run another one of those for you. Yeah, the magnets cost me a lot of money, so I can't give too much discounts on them. So these magnets are also highly anti-inflammatory. They're So you like how I bring it around, right? I complain about my wife, and then actually I'm the one who's stupid. Next thing you know, I'm be saying how great communism is. Salted mac nuts. So Hawaiian mac nuts are the richest, biggest mac nuts, and you can tell they're Hawaiian mac nuts because of how much bigger the nuts are. They're even in Hawaii these days, people are importing the mac nuts because Hawaiian mac nuts are too expensive. So people are starting to. They got the big nuts. They got Hawaii's got the biggest nuts in the world. It's a hard nut to crack, let me tell you. All right. Okay, we did the light Hawaiian. Let's do the sample of the white Hawaiian. This one is the one that's loaded with antioxidants. It's like a superfood energy drink, and it gets you kind of high, and it does get you high. And in fact, I made this to get high because I'm not allowed to smoke weed anymore. Even though I kind of relapsed a few weeks ago, anytime I smoke weed, I feel like I feel like I'm betraying my wife. So I stopped again. I went for 2 weeks just smoking weed, and then I stopped. But the white coffee gives you some of that buzz, gives you that head buzz that weed gives you. But it's still just coffee. It's like drinking 10 cups of coffee. But does have methylamine in it, which is a little bit of a hallucinogen. And if you guys need something to give you motivation, increase your productivity, get rid of brain fog, it's an NAD plus precursor, so it boosts your NAD levels in your muscles, really gets you going. This is the Hawaiian grade of it, which is not as perfect beans, but still really good, I think. Most people probably can't tell the difference in terms of once you brew it. It tastes like a sweet corn, roasted corn tea, almost like the ones that the Asians have. It's a roasted corn tea, but it is with a little bit of peanuts. But it is really, really potent. Maybe like drinking 10 cups of regular coffee. So that's what you might go around shouting when you drink it. Yep. Just yeah. So don't it does not taste like coffee. Yep. And it gets you going. It gets you flying. I like it. I drink it every day, but once you drink it every day, it's easy to overdo it, and then you're gonna have to quit for a while before it works again. So that's our Hawaiian coffee there. All right, what are we doing next? We got a medium Hawaiian. This medium Hawaiian was roasted about a week ago now. This was roasted last Thursday, and so this coffee is gonna taste like a chocolate covered raisin. It's it's sweet like a raisinette, sweeter than the higher grades, but also I don't know what you're saying. Yep, but sweeter than it's actually sweeter than the higher grades of coffee because it's a less dense bean, so you lose some of the nuttiness, but you also roast it. More of it, all of it gets roasted, so it is a little bit sweeter, ironically. So that's our medium Hawaiian there. What else? What are we doing next? Okay, here's a bag of our extra fancy white. I'll run this at a $1 start. Here's just a 2 ounce sample of our extra fancy white. This one's the highest grade of our white coffee. It's the it's just almost zero defects to it. So it's just the perfect beans, the densest beans. And when you roast that raw, it comes out the best. It comes out the smoothest, and it gives you a nice clean buzz. It won't give you most coffees are hard to roast white because they might be moldy, they might be bitter, they might have a sourness in them. But I'll do one more of these. But the white extra fancy. Well, our coffee is picked so ripe. That's the thing. That's the unique part about Kona coffee is that we pick our coffee overripe. We're waiting for the coffee to become deep red, purple, or brown before picking it. So we're only picking the coffee that falls off to the touch. And so the Brix level of our coffee fruit is like twice as much. It's like waiting for a banana to turn brown or an apple to turn brown. All the enzymes in the fruit have converted the sourness into more sugar, converts the bitterness into aroma, and it just ends up being extremely sweet. First sample's free. Yep, that's right. I'm a glorified drug dealer. I used to be a scholar, now I'm a drug dealer. I got a lot of chips on my shoulder. I used to be a scholar and now I'm a drug dealer, but it's all right. Drug dealers are great. They're medicine, right? They're selling medicine. So this is our extra fancy white Kona, 2 ounce extra fancy here, just a sample. This will be, and this 2 ounce will make you 4 8 ounce cups, or you can take 4 or 5 beans, grind it into a powder, and then and forgiven, you got that $1. Good job. All right, next one. We got an Estate Dark. Oop, this is a I'm just gonna do a bunch of $1. This is 8 ounces of our Estate Dark. Estate coffee means that uh it's the top four grades of our coffee. It's the prime number one, fancy and extra fancy. It's it's coffee that is who's our little friend? The lizard. And so this is the first grade of coffee that can be called Kona. So it's a higher density bean, and there's going to be fewer defects. And so the bean will be denser. It'll be a little bit nuttier, more complex. It includes some of the largest beans too. And this estate coffee is roasted on Saturday, so those are some of our freshest coffees. Um, Freshness matters a lot, but that 2 day difference doesn't really matter. But as far as 2 month difference will make a big difference. And this estate retails for, I see, I missed that. This estate retails for like $70 a pound. This is an 8 ounce bag, just roasted. This tastes like a toasted caramel. It's very sweet. It's the denser bean, so does have a little bit of a nuttiness to it. And the reason this is guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. So if you do get acid reflux or indigestion, you will this coffee will not give that to you. I only have why not? I only have oh, what was that? I only have I only have chocolate nibs and chocolate tea. I like the chocolate tea because of the effect, and it tastes like chocolate. It brews really well. It actually brings, unlike other chocolates, it's actually meant for brewing. So do we have that chocolate tea? I also have some cacao nibs, which is just raw chocolate that isn't separated between the cacao and these are all Hawaiian chocolates. So if you guys want some chocolate tea, I'll run one of these at $1 start. Here's a chocolate tea here. What did that last one go for? I missed it. Let's see. $14. Ouch. All right. This chocolate tea, you can grind it up with your coffee, or you can just mix it with your green tea. It's very calming. It has a lot of theobromine in it. Usually, I can't feel the theobromine in chocolate. This you can really feel it, and it's nice, just a very nice feeling. Kind of, if you drink too much coffee, you can just drink one of these, and immediately it blocks out the caffeine because chocolate theobromine, the alkaloid in chocolate, is the mirror image of caffeine, but it doesn't act on our bodies like caffeine, oddly enough. And so the cacao tea is kind of cool like that. It brews like water. It brews like tea, almost like tea leaves. It's highly, water soluble, unlike other chocolates where it just kind of floats all over the place. This cacao tea is a great way to brew. It's a brewing chocolate. It looks like leaves, and it does actually calm you down. Actually, you actually do feel the chocolate, unlike eating chocolate. I feel like when you eat chocolate, it really doesn't do anything. It tastes good, but it really doesn't do anything. But this, you actually taste the chocolate, but also you can feel the chocolate. One more dollar, $1, $1 more, $1 more, please, $1 more, just $1, $1, $1, $1, $1 more. Thank you, my friend. One more dollar, just one more dollar. All right. Now we have the Coca Cow nibs. Let's see if I have those. Do another giveaway here. Oh, look. Nope. Huh. I'm pretty focused on this show. I like it when I'm focused. I'm not focused, it means I got issues. You guys like hearing me air out my issues, making a fool of myself. Making a fool of myself. That's what you're here for. The ceramic coffee makers are they're cones that sit on top of your cup. They weigh about a pound. And here, why don't I run one of these at a $2 start? They usually cost, just looking at my order from the third. I did see that too. It's sitting there. I got to look at it. I saw it. I don't know why it hasn't shipped. I'm wondering if there's a missing item that we don't have. So I will make sure that goes out tomorrow, even without the missing item. And then um, it's only chill right now when I'm in control. Other times, so this goes for $20 to $30. So I'll double check on that, Aaron. I did see it today, and I saw it was from the third, and I didn't know what to do about it. So this should be $20 to $30. It's a very nice. You get a V2 filter, and then you can make pour overs with this. Um, it's uh, it's a really high quality pour over. It's made of ceramic. It weighs about a pound and has this little lip that just goes over your cup, so you can just make the coffee as you need it. It's pour over is like the bougiest way to make your coffee these days. So if you go to Starbucks, they'll like charge you $9 a cup to make you a pour over. You can just do it at home, and you can bring it with you. So I kind of like it for that reason. $10. That's the only one I'm doing there. We're moving that from my show. The nibs you can just put in your ice cream or your yogurt. It's a it's just raw chocolate. It tastes like a dark chocolate nut, and still has the cacao butter in it, right? To make chocolate, you actually grind up the nibs. I think you heat it up, and then the cacao, the dark chocolate melts off, and then the cacao butter stays behind, I think. So this is a 4 ounce cacao nibs. You guys can get this. I just like eating them. You can just eat them like dark chocolate, and it's healthy for you because it doesn't have any additives, doesn't have any sugar. A lot of nibs have sugar, but our nibs don't. And Hawaiian nibs don't. We don't really need sugar because it doesn't have any bitterness to it, and it's fruity. So it's these are the nibs, and that was a little bit too low for the nibs. So I think I'm gonna just start running things. I'll run this one more time, but I do need to get $8 for the nibs. So the nibs are just good to eat and good to snack on. It's a healthy chocolate snack. If you love chocolate, it's just chocolate in the raw form. Tasty stuff. Do you love rubbing the little? No, I don't know what you are talking about. You're banned. You're banned. I'm gonna have to ban you. You're not here to help. I'm not sure, but I don't think you're here to help. Bah. Okay. The allerger got banned. All right. What are we doing now? Okay. We got a medium sample the medium estate. So if you want to try the medium estate in a small bag, here's a here's a sample here. You guys can't see the red chats, right? Yeah, you guys can't see. Yeah. All right, that's our medium estate, and we got a Kona pea berry here, dark pea berry. If you guys want a dark pea berry, this is the richest of all our beans, but it's still buttery. And I'm doing good, Matt. Thanks for asking. How are you guys doing? And this dark pea berry is the richest and maybe the most complex of all the coffees. Really big pea berries. So if you like pea berries, the Kona pea berry is just the best pea berry that in the world. Just the biggest pea berry you're gonna see anywhere. And that was our Kona pea berry. We did the nibs. What else we got going here? Medium pea berry, white extra fancy. We did that dark estate. We did the extra dark. If you guys want a bag of extra dark, here's a bag of extra dark here. Again, this is a coffee that was roasted extremely dark. $20 for a pound. What is that? Hold on. Mm, I don't think I can do that, Aaron. It's a little bit low. Yeah. I think I need, generally speaking, I can't do those. Let's see, 6 times. I do it for like 24, but $20 is just a little bit too low. We got some mac nuts, 14 ounces of mac nuts here. I'll do those for 22. The macadamia nuts are the only nuts you can eat if you have kidney issues. If you have kidney stones, these nuts have no oxalates in them. So you can almost eat as much of these magnets as you want. So people with kidney stones have problems with oxalates, which are in a lot of vegetables. But I'm just setting up this 1 pounder for you. It's raw. Magnets are raw, so they're unroasted magnets. They're dehydrated, unroasted. You can replace pine nuts with them, so you can make pesto out of them. It makes a really great pesto. That's why I like to use them. You just eat them raw. I try to eat them for breakfast because I just don't eat in the mornings. Eee, that stinks. Yeah, kidney stones are no good. Really painful, right? Poor girl. Right. You do want to run it through a paper filter. You can put a paper filter at the bottom of your French press, and that'll do the same thing. It'll take a little bit longer to press, but it will also filter out the coffee. The reason why you want to run it through a paper filter, I run these magnets again. Yeah, so almonds have like 250 milligrams of oxalates per serving, whereas magnets have like 10 milligrams. So it's just like, what is that, like 50 times, 20, 30 times lower in terms of, I can't do the math, 25 times lower. And so people with kidney stones, doctors advise them these are the only nuts you can eat. The OG co- the OG coffee it stands for off grade. It's one grade below the Hawaiian, so there's a lot more defects, a little bit more less dense, but it does taste almost as good as the Hawaiian coffee. So something that I wanted to. Sandon asked me to roast it, and it actually came out really good. So we've just been offering it. Um, so this is 1 pound of the OG if you guys want, and I can offer for 17 bucks a pound. So it's like, it's something they could drink every day if you're making mixed drinks, milk, adding cream or sugar, making like mochas, and just use this because you're not even drinking your coffee black. So that's what the OG is good for. It does sound pretty off-putting though, the off grade. Who wants to buy off grade? All right, we did the extra dark. We can do a medium Kona Estate. This one tastes like a raisinette, like a chocolate covered raisin. Also just roasted on Saturday. This is 100% Kona coffee, and so it barely has any defects in it. It's the denser beans, includes some of the biggest beans, and it's sweet and a little bit nutty, almost like a Nutella. Medium Estate. I feel like I'm going too fast now. You got the white. Oh, then I got my turmeric flower. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on the turmeric flower tea, but before we go there, this is the white Hawaiian, and this is the coffee that gives you a huge buzz. Probably the healthiest of all your coffees. Also provides joint support. Um, yeah, it's been really slow. I think for the specialty coffee people, it's been extra slow. Whereas I noticed with um, people selling teas and stuff like that, it's been they've been going. People selling the cheaper coffees, I think they've been pretty good. So it was really slow last week. This week it's picking up again. So hopefully it'll get better again. I think people are just away after July 4th. Family is good. Today, Cajun chef, I realized, at the end of my show before this morning, I said, I do, why not? I said, people who are stupid always think people who are smarter than them are crazy. But then I thought to myself, because I always think about the kind of the more controversial things that I say. Then I started thinking, wait a second, didn't I just tell everyone that I think my wife is crazy? So I must be the stupid one. And you know what? So family is good. Family is good. And so here's a 2 ounce sample of the white coffee. Yeah, how's everything going with you guys? Are you a chef? Are you a Mason? Your first name is Mason, and you're French. Oh God. double, double trouble. Nice, nice. Well, cooking is a fine art. So I'd love to try some of your food sometime. Come on here and make some prepared meals. I feel like that would be a great thing. You can make some prepared meals that you could send out to people. So these are 2 ounce Hawaiian whites. The white coffee will get you flying, gets you going really, really well. And French food, so good, so good. Where did I go that didn't have Hawaii? I'm not going to talk about it, but French food's really, really special. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing next? Oh, okay. And so you're going to be a chef. You got to find a way to incorporate these turmeric flowers. This is unique. It's so I think Southeast Asians do use this, but it's actually very almost impossible to find turmeric flowers. There's almost no research on it. A little bit of meat research. Yummy. Sushi is great too. And the turmeric flowers are taste like have a touch of that turmeric curcumin taste to it, but then it is sweet like a honeysuckle. And the turmeric flowers give you that the anti-inflammatory feeling of turmeric, but it's also like calming. It gives you this mild calming coolness to it. It tastes like a honeysuckle, very sweet, with a touch of turmeric on it. It only grows, so you have to leave turmeric in the ground for more than a year in order to get the flower. And most people who do it, the flower is not very strong. It's kind of this flimsy flower. But in Hawaii, we have all those nutrients to support. Yep, I can do that. You guys don't care about turmeric flowers. It's really good though. Turmeric flower tea is so sweet that you leave it out, the ants come and try to eat it. It's got a ton of sugar in it. This was just harvested this morning, dehydrating now, and it has all the health benefits of turmeric, but it doesn't taste disgusting. I really find turmeric to be disgusting, so I'm really bad at selling turmeric, other than growing. But this is really good. It's so sweet. Um, has a hint of turmeric in there, but not too much. Oahu. Go opens a restaurant in Oahu. Big Island. We don't have the crowd to be able to support, really fine dining. You're gonna end up getting frustrated here, but Oahu definitely has a really strong market for stuff like that. All right. Oh, that was my last turmeric flower tea. All right. All right. Let's run some samples. I don't have any dark Hawaiian to run. That's why. I'll run through the samples again. Let's just run through my. Here's a medium pea berry. You gave her the turmeric. It's tasty, or that's good. Yeah, they use turmeric as well. Most of the turmeric in the U.S. comes from the Caribbean or Mexico. The nice part about Hawaiian turmeric is it's lead free because we don't have heavy industries here. The soil is clean. We did test it. That's our medium pea berry. We can do a light Hawaiian here. Let's do a $1 start on that. This is a light Hawaiian sampler. This was just roasted yesterday. And the light Hawaiian is a little bit nutty, somewhat fruity like a raisin, and then chocolate oatmeal covered cookie. So it's really sweet. It tastes fruity. Most light roasts are too sour to drink. You guys, if you've had a light roast before, you're probably like, oh, it's so sour, I can't drink this. But this light roast barely has any acidity to it, and because of that, it's just it's you can drink it. And that's the bottom line. The medium Hawaiian still has that fruitiness of the light Hawaiian, but it doesn't have the nuttiness, and it tastes like a chocolate covered raisin. Still have stuff from March. Nice. Did you freeze it or you just kind of left it out? And so this 2 ounce medium Hawaiian was just roasted on Thursday. Oh, and the turmeric. Turmeric, you could leave it. You leave it out on the counter. Yep. Leave it in the sunlight and it'll actually sprout, and that prevents any mold from growing. So I always suggest people leave it out in the sunlight in a dry place, and it will start. Even in a dark place, it'll sprout. Yeah. I usually like to leave it mine in the sun, and that fends off any mold issues. But if you already live in a drier place, mold probably not an issue. Turmeric survives. Turmeric lasts really well. But it actually goes bad quickly in the fridge, so I don't keep my turmeric in the fridge. All right, here's 2 ounce of our white extra fancy Hawaiian. This is a 2 ounce sample of our white extra fancy Hawaiian, and this is the energy drink, right? This is the monster drink. And I think Forgiven Sin got that for $1 before. And this is the extra fancy grade, so it's normally $90 a pound. So I'll probably only run one of these, and it's just the perfect beans. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We did the white, we did the medium, we did the extra fancy. Guys want a larger bag? I got 7 minutes left, so we're gonna have to wrap this up. This is a larger bag of our Kona Estate Dark, and the Estate Dark is the first grade of coffee that we can call Kona coffee. It has to be above 16/64 of an inch. It tastes like a toasted caramel, so it's sweet, a little bit chocolatey, sweeter than cacao powder. Like you buy cacao powder, I've tasted it. This is actually sweeter than that, ironically. And so we do have a dark pea berry. How about I run one of these? Dark pea berry. Two, 2 ounce of the dark pea berry here, $1 start. So this dark pea berry is the densest, richest of all the dark roasts. It has the smoothest flavor profile out of all of them because of how dense it is. There's a lot of oils in the bean, and as a result of that, it almost coats your tongue with an oil. This is the rarest in terms of per bean. It takes 100 pounds of regular Kona coffee to produce 1 pound of pea berry. And so we have to spend a lot of time filtering out coffee and collecting the pea berries. The pea berries are maybe twice as dense as your regular coffees, and it's richer and smoother as well. And I think that's it, guys. I think that's everything I got. If you guys want 2 pounds, I usually run these for $32 for 8 ounces. So I'll give you 2 pounds, 2 pounds for 100. If you guys want 2 full pounds of the white coffee, I'll give you guys a chance to get 2 full pounds for $100, $50 a pound. And and thank you guys. Last 2 pounds for $100. Oh, we got a taker. So you're saving like $20 or so on that. Oh, this guy, this guy is fake. He's a faker. Unless you screwed that up by mistake. I'm gonna just have to block him. He paid for it. That's crazy. He's gonna. No, it didn't go through. I blocked him. You got two. We got. That means people are starting to want me off. They're like, "Oh, this guy's selling too much coffee." I'm used to it. That's just what happens in America when you start doing decently. All right, what do we? Let's try this again. 2 pounds for $100 if you guys want a 2 pound bag. Yeah, maybe it's TikTok sending people over here. Maybe it's Whatnot in general. Whatnot in general is maybe starting to get compete with TikTok and the owners of TikTok. I don't know, seem a little bit shady. So they do stuff like that. Send over trolls to try to screw up business. It's typical. Shady. Shady business people. They can't help it. Those are so I only have the medium and the light kicking cards in Hawaiian, but I'll run that next for you. Shady business people and just want to screw it up. Maybe they're trying to launder money somehow. I do have these 2 ounce medium Hawaiians, and then I don't have any more dark Hawaiians, so I only have the medium Hawaiians. So these are my medium Hawaiians here. I do need to get $4 for these, so just run these at a sudden death. $4 for the medium Hawaiians, and then I have the light Hawaiians. So that's all I got. Flipping cards, and we're gonna wrap this up. So that's my medium there. I know you want the dark, but I don't have any dark Hawaiians. Let me see if I have dark. I have some dark Kona samples. I don't. Whew, getting tired. So that's my medium, and then here's my light Hawaiian. Thanks, Margaret Spot. Appreciate that. And thank you guys for joining me. I think I'm gonna go and kicking cards. You wanted the light. You want some medium Hawaiian? What you're saying, or I'll do another light Hawaiian. Oh, that's a white Hawaiian. I thought that was a light Hawaiian. I don't know what's going on. Getting brain fog. I guess I don't have light Hawaiian samples either. I gotta replenish that. So next show, yeah, I don't have any. Let me see if I have any listed in here. Hold on. Yeah, all my samplers are out, and I don't have my computer, so I'm not gonna be able to replenish them. So I'm gonna send you guys off on a raid. Thank you guys for joining me this afternoon, and hopefully you guys are having. I'm just letting them pick for you. See you guys later.